Hello, and welcome to the September Sundae Scoop. It's been a big month for us. We launched the preview testnet for our new governance portal. We launched our first client using that portal and Maker. We made it through the Vassal hard fork. We worked hard and made great progress on the new UI, and we've been busy preparing for Rare Bloom in mid-October. I'm recording this on September 30th, which happens to be my birthday, and that means this morning, the first preview testnet governance vote concluded. So thank you to everyone who participated and voted for your favorite ice cream flavor. We're still working with our partner auditors for them to certify the results on their end, but SundaeSwap Labs is happy to certify the results of that election as cookies and cream. So I picked that up based on the results of the vote. Now I'm going to hand it off to Artem, who many of you know, and one of our front-end developers, Andy, to show off some of the progress that we've made on our new UI.
All right, Andy, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and what you do at SundaeSwap?
Yeah, thanks, Artie. I'm Andy. I'm one of the OG members here at SundaeSwap. I started last year in June, and I'm part of the front-end team, and I'm currently actively working on the V2 of SundaeSwap.
Awesome. Yeah, I can see it here on your screen now. So let's dive into what the people want to see. Can you show a little bit off about the new UI, the changes that you made over the past 2 months since we gave an update to people?
Yeah, definitely. We already previewed this specific page on our last monthly scoop back in July. So there's not much new to see. The only thing that we did for this page, which is pretty cool, is we start wiring the components that we have built. We start wiring them up with real actual data. So you can see that, for example, here on the transactions history. So that is a list with all the transactions that I've placed here at SundaeSwap with my wallet. Same thing goes for our tab list here below the chart, which is still provided with mock data. But the data below it, like for the assets, liquidity, and farms, is already filled and wired up with real actual data. So these are the assets that I have in my wallet. It's ADA, Melt, and obviously Sundae. We do see the balance. For ADA, we also render out the value in USD. What is still missing here is the data for the price and the allocation, but that's something we're currently implementing. We do have a list of all the pools that I've provided liquidity for. So in this case, it's the ADA Yummy pool and ADA WMT. We see the TVL, my locked LP tokens, and the share that I'm holding of this specific pool, which is already real data, which is pretty awesome. We see that for ADA Yummy, farming is enabled. So we do have this ADA Yummy farm with an APR of 76%. We see the total staked LP tokens in this farm, and we see what rewards will be paid out for this specific farm. And if I want to have an overview directly in the portfolio page of my active farms, I can simply click on farms. I see the list of farms that I've staked my LP tokens in. So here we see that I've staked 14K LP tokens. I have a more detailed overview here once I expand the table. I have the possibility to directly stake my LP tokens here on the portfolio page. I don't have to navigate to the farms page directly. I can manually enter the amount of LP tokens that I want to stake, or I can simply click on one of the preset buttons, which is 25%, 50%, 70%, or 100% of my LP tokens. I can click on it. I can click on the stake button. I see an overview of the transaction, and if everything is fine, I can confirm my transaction. I click on it. I can sign the transaction in my wallet, and if everything goes smoothly, the transaction will be successfully submitted. If everything was fine, I can simply close the window or go to the orders page, which I will showcase later on. Also, another cool thing is that we allow the user now to hover over a specific asset, and which renders out the metadata of one asset. And I can simply go to the swap page with the asset pre-selected. So let's do that right now. So I click on Swap Sundae. So the first thing that the user sees is the familiar swap widget that the user should already know from our V1. What we render out additionally is a little chart, which obviously has no data yet since we don't have a trading pair selected. So the second asset is missing. So I'll select ADA for this use case. And then we will see a chart of the price and the price development over the selected interval that we can select here in the top right. The chart is still filled with mock data, but also that is something that we're currently building right now. We see though the token statistics of the asset that we want to swap. So for instance, we see the fully diluted market cap, we see the 24-hour volume, the total token supply, 24-hour high and low, and also the amount of holders of this specific asset. Also, again, we render out the metadata of this asset. We can click on the policy ID, which will take us to the C Explorer in this case. So we can confirm that this is actually the correct token that we want to trade. So let's...
Yeah, that's awesome. It's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
Make sure that they're trading the right tokens at least.
Exactly. So let's go ahead and do and perform a swap. So let's say I want to swap 20 Sundae for 1.14 ADA. I see the amount that I'm spending, which in this case obviously is 20 Sundae, and I will receive whatever is given here in this input, right? So in this case it's 1.148486 ADA. We do have the slippage that will be subtracted from the total, like in this case 3%. So the minimum that I will receive is 1.114031 ADA. The important thing is the slippage will not automatically be subtracted, but that is like the threshold that we will allow until we will cancel the order. So let's go ahead and swap 20 Sundae. I'll see a transaction overview. And if everything is fine, like I see a list of my transaction fees that are related to this various transaction. I see the price impact, again, the slippage tolerance, and also a new thing that we call the auto router, which will ensure that the user receives the most optimal output for the token that he's trading. So once everything is fine and the user is confident that he's making the right trade, he can submit his swap order. You see, he can now sign the transaction, and if everything goes well, again, the transaction will be successfully submitted. What is new now in our exchange page is the buy and sell option, which is pretty cool. So we can directly buy any asset and say what we want to pay it with. So let's say I want to buy 20 Sundae, right? I enter 20 Sundae, which is basically just a plain old market order, which is nothing fancy, nothing really new, so to speak, but we now offer the option that the user can place on a limit order as well, instead of a market order. So let's say I want to buy 20 Sundae, but not for the market price, which is 17.41423 Sundae per ADA. But let's say I want to buy for a cheaper price, right? Because that's usually what I want to do. So let's say I want to buy for a price of 16 Sundae per 1 ADA, which is where I will save 8.12%. I see what I will actually spend, so I will spend 1.055216 ADA instead of, compared to the market order, what I would have paid for, where I would have paid 1.148486 ADA. So that again is a saving of 8.12%. I still will receive my 20 Sundae that I have input here. Again, I see the transaction fees to this for this transaction. I see my price impact. The auto router will still ensure that you will get the best price, and I can then confirm my transaction, like a buy 20 Sundae for this amount. I submit it, I sign the transaction, and if everything goes well, again, the transaction will be successfully submitted.
Nice. And the limit orders, that's not a new protocol feature, right? That's just on the UI.
Ex-
So we're just making that more simple for people.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Andy, thank you so much. And I'm assuming that there's more done, right? We just can't fit everything into the 10 minutes that we've been going already, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Awesome. All right. So maybe I'll see you next month.
Bye, guys.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that sneak peek at our new UI, which is progressing well. It's a bit of a shorter update this month, just because we've been super busy and we're getting ready for the Rare Bloom event. So until next month.